Once upon a time, there was a baby, and someone who loved the baby very much. And this is where learning to read begins. Reading this book together is no ordinary experience. It's actually quite extraordinary. Why? Because researchers have found that when parents read books to their babies, point to the pictures, and delight in their babies' discoveries through books, children develop a love of books that later builds strong reading skills. What's the connection? It turns out that the more words children hear and come to understand, the more words they can say, and the better their vocabulary and reading skills are likely to be. When you stop and think about it, young children hear their parents say a lot of words every day, and it adds up. One very important research study found that children whose parents talk to them frequently as they go about their daily activities hear about 45 million words in the first 4 years. In families that don't talk as much, young children only heard about 13 million words. That's a difference of 32 million words that babies and toddlers don't get to hear and learn from. So one of the most important ways you can help your child develop strong communication skills and eventually learn to read is to have fun talking with him and sharing books with him, starting at birth. But many parents naturally wonder why reading to babies is so important, since sometimes they seem to have other ideas. But this is how babies get to know all about books. The more you read together, the more your child begins to understand how books work and how enjoyable they can be. And as you explore books together, your child learns that the printed words and the pictures have meaning. In fact, research has found that the more experience children have with books, the more likely they are to read early and well. This also helps with the development of other important thinking skills, like problem solving. And new brain imaging techniques have revealed that some really amazing things are going on in your child's brain while you are reading together. First, the brain focuses on the task of reading itself, which activates the cerebral cortex. The brain then snaps a picture of the printed letters on the page using the occipital lobe. A signal is transmitted from the occipital lobe to the angular gyrus. That's where the visual symbol of a letter is matched up to its sound and meaning. But wait, that's not all. Reading or being read to is a whole brain experience. When we read or hear words in a story like, "Jessie smelled sweet cookies baking in the oven," the part of our brain that processes and responds to smells lights up. When we hear phrases like, "The dog's fur was cold and wet," the sensory area of our brain gets turned on as well. And action sentences like, "Marco hit the ball as hard as he could," set off activity in the part of our brain that coordinates movement. What researchers have found is that there is quite a lot of overlap in the brain networks that are used to understand stories and the brain networks used to make sense of our interactions with the people in our lives. In fact, one research study found that preschoolers who had been read to more were better able to understand and empathize with other people and see the world from their perspective. This develops some very important cognitive and social-emotional skills. But sharing books with babies and toddlers is not just about their minds, it's also about their hearts and strengthening their bond with you. Reading a story while cuddled up on the lap of someone who adores them makes children feel loved, safe, and secure. All critical social-emotional milestones. This kind of parent-child interaction makes children feel good about themselves and feel good about their connection with the people they love most, you. So this story ends where it began, with a child and someone who loves him. But it doesn't look so ordinary anymore, does it? By reading and talking with your little one, beginning from birth, you are making extraordinary things happen in your child's brain. You are not just building literacy skills, you are also nurturing thinking skills and language skills, and helping your child build positive relationships with others. That's a lot to get out of a book, especially one with teeth marks.